All right, today we're talking about a single industrial complex that builds, main battle tanks and farm equipment. Yeah, you heard that right. This is the story of heavy industries Taxila, and it's all about how a nation's push for self-reliance ended up creating an absolute industrial giant.
Okay, so to really get a handle on this place, let's start with what they're most famous for. And that's building some seriously heavy-duty military hardware.
Say hello to the Al-Khalid. This thing is a third-generation main battle tank, which, puts it right up there with some of the most advanced armored vehicles in the entire world. It was developed with China's Norin Co., and it's really the flagship product of heavy industries Taxila, or HIT for short. It's a huge symbol of what they can do. But that begs the question, right? How does a country get to the point where it can build a 46-ton monster like this, basically from the ground up? Well, the answer, like it so often is, was born out of pure, urgent need.
So to really get why HIT even exists, you've got to go back, I'm talking over 50 years ago, to a time of major strategic crisis for Pakistan. So picture this. It's right after the 1971 Indo-Pakistani War, and Pakistan's defense ministry has a huge problem. See, their military was super reliant on foreign countries for their gear, and that's a massive weakness when you're in a conflict. The solution was crystal clear. They had to build their own defense industry, and they needed to do it like yesterday. Now, the road to getting this complex built wasn't exactly a straight line. An early plan they had with Czechoslovakia actually fell apart, but that urgency after the '71 war, that just kicked everything into overdrive. In that same year, they signed this really crucial agreement with China, and just like that, the foundation for a whole new domestic industry was laid. And with a clear goal in mind, plus a really powerful partner like China, this wasn't just going to be some plan on a piece of paper for long. Oh no, this was about to become a massive physical reality.
And the speed of this whole project was, it was pretty incredible. They picked a site in Taxila, and with Chinese help, this huge industrial facility just started rising from the ground. Construction on the main complex kicked off in '75, and believe it or not, by 1979, the factory was officially open for business.
But here's the thing. What started out as a factory with just one job, well, it wasn't going to stay that way for very long. Its mission was about to get a lot bigger. So at first, its mission was super specific. It was originally called the Heavy Rebuild Factory, and its one and only job was to take Pakistan's existing fleet of T-59 tanks and just keep them running. And you know what? They were really good at it. By 1980, just 1 year after they opened their doors, they were already rebuilding 100 tanks and 250 engines every single year. That's a pretty impressive start.
So that initial success, that really lit a fire under this whole project. It all started as the Heavy Rebuild Factory in 1980, and it proved its value almost immediately. So much so that by 1992, they were adding brand new factories, turning this place into a real military-industrial complex. That's when it got renamed to Heavy Industries Taxila, to reflect this much bigger role it was playing. And that growth just continued, turning it into the massive 1,400-acre facility with over 5,000 employees that it is today.
Okay, so fast forward to today. What does this massive complex actually make now? Well, the answer is way more diverse than you might think. We're talking way beyond just fixing up old tanks.
I mean, the scale of what they're doing now is just huge. To give you some perspective, they've built enough brand new armored vehicles to outfit several army brigades from scratch. On top of that, they've completely overhauled thousands more to keep them in the fight, and they've built hundreds of these specialized vehicles for internal security forces. The numbers are staggering. And their product line, it's incredibly broad. It's not just about main battle tanks like the Al-Khalid anymore. Nope, they're turning out everything from armored personnel carriers, think the Talha, to the Mohafaz series for security, and even those really critical engineering and support vehicles that make everything else possible.
And, some of these vehicles are pretty fascinating. Take this, the Mohafaz 3rd. It's an armored car, right, built for security forces, but get this, it's built on the chassis of a regular commercial Toyota Land Cruiser. That's a perfect example of just cleverly adapting civilian tech for defense needs.
But this is the part that's genuinely unexpected. HIT actually has a commercial division, and it designs and makes agricultural equipment. Yeah, the very same place building state-of-the-art tanks is also producing stuff like this central pivot irrigation system for farms. Wild, right?
And that surprising range of products, from battle tanks to tractors, it all leads right back to the organization's original founding mission. Their official motto really says it all: strength through self-reliance. That one phrase, that explains everything. It's the core strategic goal that has driven HIT's entire evolution for more than 40 years. It's what pushed it to become a leader not just in defense, but also, amazingly, in the commercial world. So, the story of heavy industries, Taxila, really shows you what's possible when a nation is kind of forced to innovate, right? It's this incredible journey from being dependent on others to becoming a real industrial power, and it was all driven by necessity. And it kind of leaves you with a question, doesn't it? In our world of these super complex global supply chains, just how valuable is it for a country to be able to truly build its own future? Something to think about. Thanks for joining us for this explainer.